This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, welcome everybody. This is our first stop of the day. As you can see, this is not the most frequented Kever in Eretz Yisrael, so it gives us added boost that the tzaddik could focus on our tefillos and help us bring it up. Reb Shimon ben Gamliel. Now, who's Reb Shimon ben Gamliel? Who's Rabban Gamliel? Which Rabban Gamliel? We know there were three Rabban Gamliels. This is very important to know. If any of you learn Torah Sheba'al Peh, let's say, if you ever learn Mishnayos or ever learn Gemara, it's kedai to know who Rabban Gamliel was. There were three Rabban Gamliels. Rabban Gamliel, number one, is Rabban Gamliel Hazaken. Rabban Gamliel Hazaken is the first Rabban Gamliel mentioned in Pirkei Avos. What does he say? Asei l'charav v'histalik min hasafek. You have to have a manhig, you have to have a Rabbi to get out of doubts. That's Rabban Gamliel Hazaken. Rabban Gamliel Hazaken's son was Reb Shimon ben Gamliel. As it says over here, he was one of the Asara Harugei Malchus. He was dear friend of Rabbi Shmuel Kohen Gadol. They were both taken out on Chaf Hei Sivan. They were both murdered on Chaf Hei Sivan. If you look in Shulchan Aruch, Siman Taf Kuf Pei, there's a Siman in Shulchan Aruch regarding when to fast on Chaf Hei Sivan for the yahrzeit, for the day of the murder of Reb Shimon Gamliel. Now, what did Reb Shimon Gamliel say? Now, he is the father of Reb Gamliel of Yavne. Now, Reb Gamliel of Yavne is the main Reb Gamliel in Shas. Whenever it says Reb Gamliel in Shas, it's Reb Gamliel of Yavne, son of Reb Shimon Gamliel. He is the one who Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was mispalel to. He asked Vespasian, "Tenli Yavne v'chachameha," and Shushalisa de Rabban Gamliel. Rabban Gamliel was the one who sort of was the foundation of the Jewish people in the aftermath of the Churban. The third Rabban Gamliel was the son of Rabbi. Okay, so Reb Shimon Gamliel is sandwiched in between Rabban Gamliel Hazaken and Rabban Gamliel of Yavne. He says two things in Pirkei Avos. Number one, we'll go in, it's part of the... Number one, Reb Shimon Gamliel says, Kol yamai gadalti ben hachachamim. My whole life I grew up among the sages. V'loi matzasi laguf toiv mishasika. I didn't find anything better for my body than silence. So first of all, this has a lot of meanings. For all you men over here, they asked Reb Gershon Edelstein. Here, let's go down. They asked Reb Gershon Edelstein, the Eitzah for Shalom Bayis. Yeah? So Reb Gershon Edelstein said two things, two words. The whole Shalom Bayis is two words. Lishtoik ulechabed. To be quiet and to honor. So now we understand. Leimatzasi laguf, ishtoik kagufai, leimatzasi laguf, toiv mishasika. Okay, come, we'll continue that. Watch your head, watch your head. Okay, there's not much, we're going to stay right here for... Here, we're coming out.
Probably has lights.
Yeah. Should we finish it in here? Okay, come. Everybody in. You have a light? Okay, so we're continuing here at the Tzion. Reb Shimon Gamliel said, Kol yamai gadalti ben hachachamim v'lo matzasi laguf toiv mishasika. I never found anything better than silence for the body. Now this is very interesting to me. I always searched. You know, people say that there's a finite number of words that every human being is given, and when you deplete it, then it's time to go. It says of Simcha Bunim Parshischa, that's the meaning of Reb Shimon Gamliel. Laguf toiv mishtika. Since the person has a certain number of words, there's nothing better for one's health than silence. This way you live longer, you say less words. By the way, I once found that in Reb Chaim Vital as well, quoted by the Chida. If you look through Pirkei Avos, you'll see something amazing. Rabban Gamliel Hazaken has what to say in Pirkei Avos. Rabban Gamliel, the son of Rabbi, has what to say in Pirkei Avos. Rabban Gamliel of Yavne does not make any comments in Pirkei Avos. Why not? So one thing could be, in the Tosefta we find, that Rabban Gamliel was so busy upholding the halacha for Klal Yisrael, he couldn't even be mevatel for Kriya Shema. So he's not going to have time to say Divrei Agoda and Pirkei Avos. But it could be, if your father, his mantra is, Lo matzasi laguf toiv mishasika, Where do we see that learned? His son. What does his son say?
Garnished.
That's the lesson of his father. The greatest embodiment of Leimatzasi Lagov Tov Mishasika is the fact that Rav Gamliel, his son, perhaps is not mentioned in the Mishnah. Now, Rav Shimon Gamliel said another statement. Al shloisha dvarim ha'olam oimed. Al hadin ve'al emes ve'al hashalom. That's the end of the first parak of Pirkei Avos, and of course all the Mefarshim ask. That seems to be a stira to the beginning of Pirkei Avos. Al shloisha dvarim ha'olam kayam al Torah avoda ve'al gemilos chasad. Now, Rav Shimon Gamliel had a very special talent. He could juggle, Rabbi Yitzchak, 8 torches in one hand, and it never dropped. He could juggle. Now he had another talent. He could do his shtachava by getting down on his thumbs, kissing the floor that no other human being was able to do. Now, as Rav Shimon Gamliel was taken out to be killed, he turns to Rabbi Shmuel Kohen Gadol. He says, "Why is this happening to me? That I'm being killed like a criminal?" And Rabbi Shmuel Kohen Gadol said, "Maybe one time you were doresh barabim and you felt personal hana." And what did Rav Shimon Gamliel say? Achi nichamtani, achi nichamtani. This is the great Tana Leki, Rav Shimon ben Gamliel.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.